Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome to episode number 32 of Bengals On The Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry, and I hope you guys watched the Bengals presentation this week that entered the Jungle Show on YouTube. If you haven't, they interviewed my brother and I in the stadium at Paycor. We had a conversation about being brothers and being, at this point now, rivals when we never had to be. It was kind of a brotherhood thing between Bengals, Bills, and fans, and not just us, but, online and with culminating in the DeMar Hamlin thing right before they had to play again in the playoffs. It was good, and I thought they did a great job. So shout out to the Bengals. Thank you for doing that for me and for us, and for people to enjoy. But today's episode is going back to the Bills-Bengals game, because we have a few bites of the apple left here on defense that we didn't get to on the first film review, and it's going to be three topics. First one is one player that I think is probably super underrated nationally. I think we know where it's going here, but I think he's going to be a key player in stopping some of these good teams down the stretch. And then we're going to, number two, what this defense does really well and something that they've gotten really good at over the last few weeks, which is an issue we weren't sure was going to get resolved or not. And then number three, something they could do better. And I'm going to focus on one player, not trying to pick on him, but he is representative of some of the issues and something they're going to have to get better at, I think, if they want to be a championship caliber defense. So first up, Dax Hill, second-year man out of Michigan, first-round pick last year. He had to play all over, played corner, played slot, played the free safety, strong safety spots. He's settled in very nicely into what Lou Anarumo wants in this defense, and he can do something that not a lot of safeties can do, and that's take out a good and athletic tight end when he plays man coverage. Number 23 down here, Dax Hill. Right away, this is early in the game, Bill's first drive, and he and Jermaine Pratt talking it out. You've got Dalton Kincaid, the Bills' first-round pick that looks really good. Honestly, he looks like a lot like a young Travis Kelce in his movements. Dax one-on-one with him, breaks really well at the top of the route. You see when Dalton goes to break, Dax attacks it, and he attacks the ball after the catch, which is key here because we're going to get to this later. But you see him get his right hand underneath and then knock it out. That is how you do it. That's a great pass breakup for Dax Hill early in the game to set the tone that, hey, I'm going to be able to cover your guy, your X factor on this offense now for the Bills. A little push off there from Dalton Kincaid. If that ball was thrown in that direction, they may call that. Doesn't matter otherwise. It goes the other way. Really good route. Actually, can we go back? We might as well talk about other plays while we are here. And I know I said I've got Dax here circled, but watch. This is Mike Hilton in the slot versus Khalil Shakir, last year's fifth-round pick for the Bills, that I think is actually going to be a very good slot receiver for them. He's on my shadow team if you guys participate in that. But they're going to fake like it's just a slot fade. Remember we broke down the slot fade before? And it's going to be a slot fade. But what I like here is how he gets to this point and he gives them a shimmy and then goes for the slot fade. So I like the route. We've talked before about man coverage with the Bengals and how right now, Mike Hilton's kind of you like that right there? They see that little move. Keep an eye on them, even though the camera starts to focus down on our guys down here. But a little move by Shakir to break free of Mike Hilton and to get deep. Moving on, though, keeping it with our guy here, Dax Hill versus Dalton Kincaid. We've got a little out and then back in. Again, he's sitting on this, breaking out, able to transition and switch back inside. And we've got Cam Taylor-Britt with the forced incompletion at the top of the screen. I want to go back even a little bit more. Let's focus on Cam Taylor-Britt one-on-one here with Gabe Davis. Don't follow that circle. Follow the new one I'm cutting here. And we're just going to try and beat him with the fade route to the top of the screen, to the back of the end zone. Again, focus on the top. He just hits him with a quick hezzy step and then goes to the corner. And my camera zooms in up there. But You saw the play. I'm sure they put it in HD super slow motion on the broadcast. So we're not going to focus too much on those guys. We've got segments later where we will. So we're keeping it on Dax Hill down here to your right, one-on-one with Dalton Kincaid. And you see he's got inside leverage, protecting from that inside. So that's why he, as the out route, he's weary of the out route. Like, okay, if he does it, I'm going to cut on it. But he's protecting that inside. And when you see Dalton Kincaid stop and bring it back, he's all over it. So again, we got man coverage. Dax Hill is going to completely focus on Dalton Kincaid, and all the play action, the reverse stuff does not matter to him. He does not care. He is on Kincaid no matter what. Ends up being two guys on him because Mike Hilton reads it and jumps and slides down and takes Kincaid as well. But you even see here pre-snap, Hill's like, okay, motion, I'm with him. He's my guy, one-on-one, and I'm going to cover him. So all this trickery that the Bills are doing means nothing to Dax Hill. If he focuses on his job, he's not trying to play the run here. His eyes are on Kincaid the entire way and gives Josh Allen no option to toss that ball downfield. And you even see it. Look at Hill walking back with Kincaid like, yeah, I had you the whole time, dude. Now it's 3rd and 6. The Bills need a spark here. They need a play. They want a big play. We've got an out and up route. It's not exactly a wheel route, but you're going to fake the out. Hopefully Dax breaks down on it. Here it is, break down, and then go upfield. And Dax, his hips, he transitions, he turns smoothly, effortlessly. And Josh Allen was trying to go for this pass too. You see him watch his eyes the whole way. He's looking for it, trying to break out of the pocket, create time, and get upfield and make this play happen. It's never there. And Trey Hendrickson's able to break down and get the stop on 3rd down. So Dax Hill, big game, big moments in this game too to start it off, and then right there on that 3rd down. So even when you don't see the ball going to him or you don't see his impact directly, because he's really right now he's not giving up a lot of catches. He hasn't in the last 2 weeks. He's playing a lot of deep free safety as well. But if you don't see him, it doesn't mean he's not doing anything. These are a lot of plays here where he's just blanketing that tight end and not giving Josh Allen, especially on that last 3rd down when they're trying to create a big play and a spark to get back in the game. And he's just all over it. So I'm very happy with the way Dax Hill is playing so far. Happy with the way Lou Anarumo is deploying him as well. I mean, and I think that's one of the strengths of this current Bengals team and franchises. They seem to know what these guys can and can't do coming out of college, and then they put them in position to do what they did well. And if you remember, if you didn't watch Dax Hill in college, and if you weren't following me or reading my stuff at the time, he was largely a slot corner for Michigan. And he did a lot of stuff in the box because you're in the box as a slot guy. Rarely did he play the deep free safety stuff. So that 1 year of seasoning to marinate and learn how to be a deep free safety behind Jesse Bates last year was an effort to make sure when he's able to start this year that he could do everything. And so far he is. And he and I would say Mike Hilton are the 2 chess pieces back there at corner, or I should just say at defensive back for Lou Anarumo, and how much they can move those guys around and really interchange Hilton and Dax Hill. And you'll see it at times. One guy comes down to the box, it'll be Dax Hill covering a tight end. Mike Hilton's in the slot, and then the slot receiver goes in motion, or they'll shift and switch everything up. And Hilton and Dax don't even move because they're each comfortable covering a slot or a tight end. And you saw it a few times in this Bills game where I'm like, yeah, you can do that. You don't have to show them that you're in man coverage and have Dax Hill chase the tight end or have Mike Hilton chase the slot guy. You just let them swap, and you're like, we're still playing man. We're completely okay with that because your safety can cover like not a lot of safeties can. And it really is a nice card to play for Lou Anarumo. And I think later in the year when they have to play Travis Kelce, when they have to play Mark Andrews, these are tight ends that you're going to want to put Dax Hill on, and it could be the X factor in those games. But if you haven't gotten in this week on the giveaway from First Star Logistics, it is a custom laptop, and it's got my own drawing on there on top, which is awesome. So that's a good reason to want it, but also it's just a good reason to show it off to your friends and make sure you get in on this giveaway. That will be on the Sunday game. And they give away something every time the Bengals play. So we're going to have one on Sunday, and then I assume flip it right around for Thursday, or are they going to give you the full week? Because we got a short week coming up. So that'll change our schedule here on the show. That is something we're still figuring out. Although Malik Wright and I do have a tentative plan to maybe join the shows for one big episode and try and knock two birds with one stone there if we can. So moving on, what the Bengals do well on defense: communication. Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, it's one of their strengths of the past few years under Lou Anarumo, is their ability to communicate, transition, know what's happening almost before it happens. And I've got a few plays here that's going to show exactly that. I would be concerned if I was a Bills fan watching this, because you see Bengals are pointing out motions before they even happen. And then they're already like adjusting, like, oh no, this guy's going to come in motion. He has to. They don't line up like this. And they start putting the slot guy over this way, and then the slot receiver comes in motion. It's like, you want to see that. That is good to see. And then we've got some run defense and playing sound defense. The good clips, what they do well right here. Zooming in on the defense here, focusing on the linebackers, Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson. Look at the communication between all of them, tapping their heads, pointing it out, moving with them, bringing in Mike Hilton into the box. So Sam Hubbard's got to take on this pulling offensive. No, it's the tight end coming across. That's right. And remember, this was brought up a lot of talk last preseason when I think it was Kayvon Thibodeau got hurt. It's a very common play. So as you see all the action going one direction, all the action looks like it's going this way, right? It's supposed to force everyone to flow this way. On the backside, we've got two guys here, and they're basically, and you got three, you got a third level just in case. But these backside guys still have to do their jobs and be in position in case the run does come back. And it is coming back. So once this guy comes and blocks here, we get a linebacker, or the linemen come off and get the linebacker here, you should end up with, if you're the Bills, a nice cutback, and let's go one-on-one with that safety in the hole or even further downfield if possible. It's not going to get that far because first, Sam Hubbard does a great job taking on that block, and then Mike Hilton fills the hole between them. And when Mike Hilton fills that hole right there, look at Cook immediately sees Hilton and has like a mini panic, like, oh no, it's not there. Let me break out of it and jump away from this tackle. And this looks like a whole bunch of missed tackles, which again, we can add that to the thing the Bengals can get better at down the stretch for this defense to be a championship caliber defense. But it does get Cook to jump back, stop his feet, and now look what do we have? We've got DJ Reader right in his face. We've got Logan Wilson coming down. We've got Trey Hendrickson coming from here. We've got Nick Scott now because the play has been busted. It's not where it's supposed to be. You can tell because look at these blockers all looking back like, oh, why did the guy come around and end up right here? It's because we had a bust. We had an instant penetration and a play from Mike Hilton, and Cook tries to get around the edge and tries to create some room, and both safeties clean them up at the line of scrimmage. So very aggressive play at the line of scrimmage. Good communication pre-snap before the motion even happened. And we're on to the next one. I love it. I mean, you already see Sam Hubbard talking. You're going to see a lot of Sam Hubbard talking. I think he's talking to Trey Hendrickson, telling him, hey, you've got a guy coming your way because we've got a big extra jumbo offensive lineman. The sixth offensive lineman did line up over here and then moved over, and he's going to get into this position here. So Sam's just giving him a heads up. Hey, you've got someone coming over there. But we're going to focus on Jermaine Pratt communicating, and you see him right away. He's already pointing to Jordan Battle back there. He said, hey, motion's coming. The guy's going to be coming in motion. It's going to be your guy. And he's pointing. And then look at Mike Hilton over there. Mike Hilton is like, hey, Jordan, the motion's coming. And then Pratt's like, here he comes. And good for the rookie, though, because what does he say in response? I see him. I got him. He's like, oh, you guys are freaking out a little bit, but I got him. I know he's coming over here. And they're correct. Here comes the receiver in motion across. And I think that's Stephon Diggs. And you see Battle comes down with him. He just slid out of the screen. He's going to cover him. So the Bengals are ready for it. They appear to know what's coming here. And then eyes back on Jermaine Pratt, and we're going to watch what Pratt does to really stifle this play. So 60 is going to pull out and kick out and come around the tackle there, and Pratt's going to undercut it. And by doing so, because he knows where the block is supposed to be, the lineman never can react fast enough, and Pratt does a great job of securing this tackle, wrapping up. It's also good that, like, because you could see, say he knows this guy was going to break free. I'm talking James Cook knew. You would just try to hit this right up the gut, right? Cut it back, cut off this, because you've got Logan Wilson almost wrapping around and over pursuing because you've got Pratt taking the inside. And I wonder if that's by design or if Logan Wilson is over pursuing here. But because DJ Reader is winning inside, right? His helmet is on this side of the blocker. It's hard for Cook to, if he's reading that, it's hard for Cook to say, I'm going to cut this back because Reader's going to absolutely collapse on him. And the other guy to watch here is Mike Hilton. He's always ends up in the box here on these run plays. Do you go inside here and try and beat the lineman across and get into the play, or do you cut it back against him and try and fill? I think Hilton has eyes on Reader here. And if Reader ends up on the inside, like what we're saying, Hilton's like, okay, I've got to play more to the backside because the running back shouldn't cut to where the defensive tackle's helmet is. And that's what Hilton does. And Jermaine Pratt makes the wrap-up tackle. So good, sound defense throughout. You can see how they could end up giving up a big play there. And they have given up some explosive runs. So, if one guy doesn't do their job, that's how it happens. So watch Trey Hendrickson. He's probably their weakest run defender. Not probably. He is their weakest run defender in their front six. So I think teams like to stretch him out and try and attack him, either running at him or running away and then cutting back at him because he's so aggressive. He's upfield rushing the passer. And we've got an extra offensive lineman, a jumbo O-line for the Buffalo Bills. So let's watch Hendrickson and how he handles here. So the lineman hits him with the fake and then releases upfield. So it kind of gets Hendrickson flat-footed, and then they're going to pull lineman to try and really run him out of this play. So what does Hendrickson do here? Because he's got to maintain his leverage. He's got to stay outside. You want to force this running back inside to your linebackers and to DJ Reader, BJ Hill, Sam Hubbard. Force them back into those guys. And you see Hendrickson gets low, absorbs his contact, uses his leverage, fights through it, keeps his head on the outside again. So if we split this down the middle, he's staying outside, forcing the running back to say, okay, I can't get out that way. Let me follow my lead blocker, my lineman here that's pulling, and go cut it up inside. And he can't because of DJ Reader. Eyes inside on DJ Reader going against Dion Dawkins, their good left tackle there. Reader fights through, gets down, knifes through, and makes a tackle. So the two guys there, Hendrickson and Reader. Hendrickson sets the edge, says, okay, running back, you're not going to be able to go all the way outside. Reader fights through, beats a good left tackle, and dives in and makes a play. A lot of these plays that I'm going to show, especially against the run, cannot happen without DJ Reader and how good he is. We don't highlight him often, but they don't work unless he's winning and controlling that offensive line in the point of attack as much as he does, and he does often. More communicating here. Look at the three wide receivers to the right for the Bills, and they're going to bring Stephon Diggs in motion, and it's going to put a linebacker covering Stephon Diggs, a linebacker on your number one receiver. Let's watch that combination. Nothing there. Pressure gets to Josh Allen, quarterback, and he has to put the ball into the turf, trying to get it to Dalton Kincaid. It's good communication here because they're like, okay, whoever ends up as the number 3 inside guy, Wilson's going to take him. Watch Allen's eyes too here, as you can see where he's looking, when he's looking. So he's going to look left real quick, go back to the right, and here's you got an isolated situation. Logan Wilson's going to protect inside, doesn't bite for any of that cheese, and then Allen comes off him to see if anyone else is open, comes back to Diggs again, and it's not there. Logan Wilson is doing a great job just staying home, playing his position, and staying in position where he could potentially break up this pass if Allen wanted to force it. Same play. Let's watch Trey Hendrickson on this side, go for the power inside rush, collapse the pocket, not give Allen a lot of time. So if that pass rush isn't there, eventually Stephon Diggs will be a linebacker, right? But because Wilson played it so well, and then you have Hendrickson winning, there's no time for Allen to create and make some magic happen with his number one receiver. Very similar situation again. We've got the 3 receivers down to the right. They're going to bring Cook in motion, just like they did before, bring him back into the running back position. They wanted to see what the Bengals were running. And what you're going to end up here is Stephon Diggs coming in motion and getting behind Dalton Kincaid. Once again, very similar. It backs off Cam Taylor-Britt, and it puts Diggs and Pratt one-on-one. So you're getting, again, they're trying to get the number 1 receiver, and you even see Diggs right there is like, hey, good job. Good job transitioning and switching at the snap. and communicating. You see Pratt right there. He's already pointing, expecting one of those guys to come in motion, and he does, and it's going to be Cook. And then you see Pratt again. Hey, here he comes. Here comes Stephon Diggs. I've got the running back. No, I don't. He sees he flares out. I've got now Stephon Diggs. And he's pointing to Logan Wilson. Hey, you've got Dalton Kincaid. And I think Allen wanted Kincaid there. So if he's going Diggs, Kincaid, to whoever didn't get covered on that, he was going to hit it. But we've got a stunt up front between BJ Hill and Sam Hubbard. Look at him communicating right there. Lou Anarumo has said, and I think it was on the Lockdown Bengals podcast, he said that they will call that on their own. So they'll get up there and they'll see what they see and they'll call it and they'll run this stunt. And they are very good at it between them. And a lot of BJ Hill's production this year and his sack numbers, all that is up again, which is great. It's like the 2021 year when they got him from the Giants. They've come on these plays. So the idea here on a tackle and stunt, the tackle being BJ Hill, the end being Sam Hubbard, obviously, the tackle is going to want to penetrate and push up towards the offensive tackle as much as possible. Engage with the guard and then engage with the tackle and allow Sam Hubbard to loop back around. So you've got both of these guys really going out wide. The tackle's spinning. He's trying to do what he can do. And you got Hubbard coming back inside. Hopefully he comes free. Instead, both guys end up affecting this play. BJ Hill getting through the two, Sam Hubbard pushing Osiris Torrance, second round guard, into Josh Allen, collapsing the pocket at the same time. Tremendous job between the two of them. And they're carrying a baby. I don't know what that means, but communication between these guys, very, very good. So, what's one area that the Bengals defense can still improve on if they want to get to that next level? Sure, they've been very opportune, right? They've come up with big clutch plays when you need it. And that's something I like. I think in the backbone of your defense, in the DNA of it, you need to have, especially in a championship caliber defense. But they're still giving up explosive plays at a high rate. They're still missing tackles at a high rate, and their coverage can still be more effective in terms of disrupting passes, making it harder on quarterbacks and receivers. And I think the main issue right now, looking at some data and trying to pull up, because I couldn't put my finger on it. So I looked at last year's and the previous years, and I wanted to see how often are the Bengals breaking up passes. And this started because of the tape too that we'll get to in a second. How often are they breaking up passes? How often are they forcing incomplete passes? And PFF keeps this data and they keep forced incompletions and forced incomplete percentages. And right now the Bengals are way behind last year. And if they continue this pace, they'll be about 15 to 20 forced incompletions less this year than they had last year. And that means one play per game is ending up complete rather than being incomplete. And so if you want to achieve the same goal as last year and previous years and surpass it, let's be honest. But you may say, well, one's not that many. One forced incompletion isn't that much. But we're talking about that could potentially be a third down play. That could potentially be a late in the game stop. That can be a first down that now turns them into second and long. That could be a second down that turns you into third and long. One play could make the difference. And we've got 3 plays here on the Bills' final drive where they went down and scored, and they attacked the rookie out of Michigan, second round pick, DJ Turner. And we know Turner doesn't have great length. He doesn't have great size. I think he has good ball skills. But when you don't have the size and physicality, I think sometimes these contested balls are not going the way the Bengals want them to. And before we get to the film real fast, the best team in the league at doing this is the New England Patriots. They will almost allow you to get your hands on the ball and they play through the ball and punch it out. Or as you wrap it in, they come in and they knock it out this way. And you see the Bengals trying to do this, but they haven't been effective. They haven't finished these plays the way they've wanted to. And so far, DJ Turner just has one forced incompletion all year on 21 targets. That is an extremely low rate. Only he and Nick Scott are really low and glaring right now of not affecting the ball. And we've got 3 plays here that show what I'm talking about. Bill's final drive. Let's focus on DJ Turner down here, number 20, the rookie out of Michigan. And he's one-on-one, man coverage. We got a slant. And the coverage is good, right? Like his separation is minimal. We got 2 quick and athletic guys here. the ball's fit into a tight window. Your chance to affect this pass becomes once the receiver touches the ball. Once the receiver gets his hands on it, can you come through and punch it out afterwards? And you see he comes across the top, reaches down. You see that left hand, Turner's left hand does punch at Sherfield and punch at the ball, and he's unable to knock it out of there. Like we showed with the Dax Hill play against Dalton Kincaid. You want this guy to come over the top right here and rip that ball out. Doesn't happen. Okay, good catch by the receiver. So here's the touchdown play. He's in man coverage with Stephon Diggs. Diggs has it. Here's your chance to knock the ball out. Last second, knock that out. We saw Jamar Chase drop a pass, right? Get affected on that touchdown, or he should have caught it. You want to be able to do the same thing. You want to be able to reach around here, get that hand on as you swipe down, pull it, and yank it out. Again, he's unable to affect it. So now the 2-point conversion, they do the same thing. They're coming back after the rookie with Stephon Diggs, and you got to get your hands between his hands. Can you reach? Are you long enough? Do you have that length? Do you have the strength? Do you have the ball skills to push this out of here? Knock it out. DJ Turner can't. And so these are plays here that small margins, right? You can knock this away. It's an area where we need to watch him and see if he can do this. And if he can't, it may limit his upside and effectiveness as he grows into an NFL player. And something we'll have to keep an eye on as the Bengals defense tries to evolve into the final form we need. The Bengals take on the Houston Texans, who have a laundry list of injuries so far as practices today on Thursday. The Bengals have some injuries too. I don't expect T. Higgins to play. It sounds like he hurt his hamstring pretty good. And we might not see him until after that Ravens game because, we got the Thursday night game right behind this Texans game. I do expect Chase to play. It sounds like just soreness. He's working through it today. As I just am recording this, it looks like he is practicing again. So I expect Chase to play, but no Higgins unless, he wakes up and he's magically okay, which soft tissue injuries, I do not expect. Should be a good game. CJ Stroud is playing really, really well, not just for a rookie. Like he's playing good for any quarterback in the league. And I think he should be the runway for Rookie of the Year so far. Charlie Jones, will he be activated to replace or to alleviate the loss of Higgins? We'll see on there. They have a 21-day window, 20 days now, to activate him. So they've got some time. I expect it to be as soon as he is cleared and ready to go. This could be a sneaky game. You can't look at the Ravens too early. You can't look past the Texans. They're injured. Their secondary is really beat up, especially at corner. Can the Bengals take advantage of it? Can they keep the hot streak going? They're much better at home. I expect Paycor to be electric again and the Bengals to take care of their business here. This has been Bengals on the Brain, episode 32. Thank you for watching. Make sure you follow us all at First Star Logistics, at Joe Goodberry, Malik Wright, Dave Lapham, everyone on the channel. If you subscribe, you're already got a leg up on getting the notifications. And if you hit this like for me and you share the video, I would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching. As always, Uday.
Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realized self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.